Lagos was a city of wealth and struggle, where the rich lived in high-rise mansions, and the poor watched from behind iron gates. In the heart of Ikoyi, behind the towering black gates of a grand estate, stood Musa, the humble gateman of Chief Obina's household. Musa was a man of few words, known for his quiet diligence. Every morning, before the sun rose, he would sweep the long driveway, polish the cars, and stand guard at the gate. From his small security post, he observed the luxurious world of the Obina family. He saw the expensive cars drive in and out, the endless deliveries of fine wine, designer clothes, and exotic foods. He watched as visitors in expensive suits and flashy jewelry came and went, discussing deals worth millions of naira. But no one ever noticed Musa. To them, he was just part of the gate, always there, but invisible. Musa had come to Lagos from Kano, chasing the dream of a better life. But the city was unkind to men like him. He lived in a tiny room at the back of the compound, barely bigger than a closet. His salary was small, just enough to send something home to his mother and siblings in the village. He had no wife, no children, and no real friends except for So, the cook, and Bobatond, the old driver who had been working for Chief Obina for years. Despite his struggles, Musa had dreams. He wanted to be more than a gateman. He often imagined himself dressed in fine clothes, driving his own car, living in a house of his own. But Lagos had a way of reminding people of their place. The first time Musa truly caught the attention of the Obina family was on a hot Wednesday afternoon. Chief Obina's two daughters, Amora and Chidra, had just returned from the gym. They stepped out of their air-conditioned SUV, their skin glistening with sweat. Amora, the elder, was tall and confident, with a sharp tongue that could cut through glass. Chidra, the younger, was softer, with a smile that could melt the heart of even the coldest man. Musa had seen them many times before, but they had never spoken to him beyond the occasional "open the gate." That day, as Amora stepped out of the car, she tripped on her gym bag and fell forward. Musa, standing nearby, reacted quickly. He caught her before she hit the ground. For a brief moment, their eyes met. Musa's hands were firm, his grip strong. Amora, startled, pulled away quickly. "Be careful next time," Musa said softly, stepping back. Amora blinked. No one had ever spoken to her in that tone before, gentle, yet commanding. She straightened up and brushed imaginary dust off her clothes. She muttered before walking off, Chidra giggling behind her. That moment seemed small, but it planted a seed, one that would grow into something unexpected, something dangerous. From that day, the daughters of Chief Obina started to notice the poor gateman. It started with stolen glances. Amora would watch Musa from the balcony as he polished Chief Obina's cars. Chidra would deliberately walk past the gate more often, sometimes just to drop a casual greeting. Musa, at first, did not think much of it. He was used to being ignored, and the sudden attention confused him. One evening, as he locked up the gate, Chidra approached him. She wore a silk dress that shimmered under the security lights. "Musa," she said with a teasing smile. "Do you ever get tired of standing at that gate all day?" Musa cleared his throat. "It is my job, madam." She laughed. "Call me Chidra. We are not strangers." Musa shifted uncomfortably. He knew his place. A gateman did not call his employer's daughter by her first name. But there was something in Chidra's voice, something playful yet serious. He nodded but said nothing. A few nights later, Amora appeared at his security post. She leaned against the wall, arms crossed. "You caught me that day," she said suddenly. Musa looked up. Madam. At the car. You caught me before I fell. You are strong. Musa hesitated, unsure of what to say. It was nothing, madam. She tilted her head. Nothing. From then on, the sisters found no reasons to linger around Musa. When their father was away on business trips, they would come to the gate just to chat. They asked him about his life, his family, his dreams. At first, Musa resisted. He was a humble man, and he knew how dangerous it was to get too close to the powerful. But little by little, he let his guard down. One evening, Chidra snuck out of the house and came to his small room at the back of the compound. She sat on his bed, running her fingers over the rough blanket. "Don't you ever wish for more, Musa?" she asked. Musa swallowed hard. More. More than this gate. More than being a servant. He sighed. Life does not always give us what we want. Chidra smiled. Maybe it does. If we take it. That night, something shifted between them. The boundaries that had once been so clear began to blur. But it was Amora who made the first bold move. One night, when the house was silent, she walked up to the security post and placed a hand on Musa's chest. "You are different," she whispered. Musa felt his heart pound. "Madam, this is not right." She tilted her head, her breath warm against his skin. Who decides what is right? Musa knew he was crossing a line. But desire, once awakened, is a powerful force. And the daughters of Chief Obinna were not used to being denied. Musa tried to resist, but the more he tried, the deeper he fell. It was dangerous. If Chief Obinna ever found out, he would not survive the consequences. But temptation has a way of blinding reason. The sisters played a dangerous game. They whispered secrets in the night, stole moments in the shadows. Musa found himself caught between them, unable to say no, yet too afraid to say yes. He was walking on the edge of a knife, and he knew that sooner or later, it would cut him. One night, as Musa stood by the gate, he saw a silhouette watching from the shadows. Someone had seen them. Someone knew. And in Lagos, secrets never stayed hidden for long. One morning, everything changed. Chief Obinna returned from a business trip, and his household was in chaos. The whispers in the servants' quarters had turned into loud murmurs. The housekeeper, who had always been fond of gossip, finally burst into the main house and knelt before Chief Obinna. "Sir, there's something you must know," she said, her voice trembling. Chief Obinna frowned. "Speak. What is it?" She hesitated, then whispered, "It's about Musa and your daughters." The room fell silent. The air grew heavy. Chief Obinna's hands tightened around the golden armrest of his chair. "What about Musa?" he asked, his voice dangerously low. "Sir, both Amora and Chidra, they have been with him. And one of them, she is with child." The words hit like a thunderclap. Chief Obinna's face darkened. He shot to his feet, knocking over the glass of whiskey beside him. "Musa," he roared. "Get me that useless dog." At that moment, Musa knew his time had run out. He had nowhere to hide. And Chief Obinna was coming for him. The scandal spread like wildfire. By the next morning, the entire neighborhood was talking. Newspapers carried bold headlines: "Billionaire's daughters in love triangle with gatemen." Lagos was a city where gossip traveled faster than cars in rush hour traffic. Every street vendor, every trader at Baligan Market, every housemaid whispering over laundry knew Musa's name now. The once invisible gateman was suddenly the most talked about man in Lagos. Chief Obinna used his influence to ensure Musa was arrested. The police, eager to please the billionaire, dragged Musa away in handcuffs. But as Musa sat in a dark, damp cell, an unexpected ally appeared, a figure from his past who held a shocking truth that could change everything. The courtroom was silent as Musa stood before the judge. The media had painted him as a monster, a manipulator who had seduced the billionaire's daughters for his own gain. Chief Obinna's lawyers had done everything to bury him. Yet, as Musa prepared to hear his fate, a voice echoed in the chamber. "I have something to say." All eyes turned to Amara, who stood up, her face pale but determined. "Musa did not force himself on me," she said. "I loved him. We both did." Gasps filled the room. Chidra stood next to her, nodding. "Our father has painted him as a villain. But he never took advantage of us. He was kind, and we made our choices." The judge frowned. Chief Obinna's face darkened. But the truth had been spoken. In the end, the case against Musa collapsed. The public, once eager to condemn him, now saw him differently. He was not a criminal but a man caught in a dangerous web of love, power, and social class. But Musa knew he could never return to his old life. The scandal had changed him. With the compensation from the wrongful charges, he left Lagos, seeking a fresh start. He opened a small business in another town, far from the wealth and drama of the Obinna household. And as for Amora and Chidra, they too had learned a lesson, one that money could not erase. Some stories do not end with a perfect ending. But they leave behind a truth that cannot be ignored, that love and power do not mix easily, and sometimes, the greatest redemption is simply walking away. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more stories like this.